new architecture came into picture, which is nothing but your middleware. So in your three-tier architecture, so you have user interface in one layer and data in the third layer. In between, you got one stack layer called middleware. So that will deal with the integrations or data exchanges between different systems. So that middleware makes possible of communication between two different systems, irrespective of their technology, irrespective of their protocols, irrespective of their security mechanisms. Middleware handle everything in between, and it makes the communication possible between different systems. That's what is middleware basically.
So we'll be having user engagement. That means nothing but different applications that connect to your middleware. So it could be web applications, it could be social media networking sites, or mobile. So if you heard of Fusion applications, right? Oracle Cloud or Fusion applications, you
Yeah,
have
it has
social
been
media
working.
enabled. Huh. It has social media enabled on that. So directly you can tweet something from your Oracle Cloud application. You got promotion, right? So for example, you wanted to tweet it directly. You can just put a tweet on your Oracle Cloud applications. It will be pushed to your Twitter account. Same is the case with your Facebook. Same is the case with your LinkedIn. So you can directly integrate all those systems with your cloud applications, and you can access all these cloud applications using mobile also.
Okay.
MFT, mobile framework technologies. So all these are connected to middleware. And in this middleware, what we will basically do is we can manage the business processes. That means business specific activities. So, for example, if you consider any kind of retail market, I mean, Dell laptops, HP laptops, their own processing you can do with respect to their business. Though the system is still there, for example, you buy Oracle EBS or Cloud or whatever, you take the license for that. So, whenever you need any customization, right? So, there might be some deviations from the business and the product that you purchased. So, to fit that gap, this middleware comes into picture to manage the business processes. And at the same time, content management. So there might be different files and folders or different data should be transferred between different stakeholders within your business. So that kind of content management is also available in this middleware.
Okay.
And next comes business intelligence. Business intelligence is whenever based on some sales, you wanted to make a decision based on historical data. You wanted to know the trend of the customers when they're gonna buy which product, seasonal products, or when your demand will be more, when we need more supply. All kind of business intelligence also you can brought in using this middleware.
Mhm.
Okay, and once you build the services, there is one more layer called integration layer. So this integration layer, what it does is you can expose your services as your applications as services. For example, you developed a PLSQL procedure to get the employee information. Okay, you can expose that PLSQL procedure as a service, as a web service or a REST API, so that anyone else can invoke those by providing the security credentials. That kind of integration layer also comes with this middleware.
Mhm.
Okay, there is one more abstraction of these middleware services using identity management and security. This provides you the authorization and authentication.
Okay.
Okay, authorization as in who can access my system.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, authentication is like security. Username and password is authentication. Authorization is who can have privilege to access a specific resource. It could be a database table, it could be procedure, it could be a web service, it could be REST API or anything. Okay,
Mhm.
and to access all these, we'll be having development tools, cloud applications, and enterprise management. So these are the different IDEs that, for example, you can consider JDeveloper as one of the IDE development tools to access this middleware.
Okay.
Okay, so out of all these, ADF sits in your business process management, service integration, and identity management. All these three together, ADF in the middleware.
Okay.
Okay, so
Mhm.
basically, ADF is as a summary, ADF is application development framework. That's basically a framework that comes under heart, you can say, of Oracle Fusion middleware architecture.
Mhm.
Okay, so this let's see how ADF fits into. I mean, I already explained here, but actually it's in detail. What are the different components that we have in middleware? You already know MVC architecture, right? Because you extensively
Yeah.
worked on OVF.
Yeah.
He's also ADF also on MVC architecture. Okay, so if you consider the top layer is nothing but your ADF again here. So ADF. So
Yes.
you can build user interactive and rich user interface pages using ADF.
Mhm.
You can access those pages. If you have a browser, you can directly access those, right? So you can have it in mobile also. You can have it in PDS, or you can have view it in regular browsers, system browsers. So that's nothing but your view. And business logic is here your model component, business services. Here,
Mhm.
one more extra layer that comes is data binding. Here, earlier, actually, you create a method. You create in OF. What you do is you'll create a button and a process request, process form request will be there default, right? Here, that level of coding is not required here. Directly, you can bind the methods to a button. So that's called as
Okay.
data binding. I'll show you how data binding would work. This is
Mhm.
one more additional layer that provides more security, more user-friendly or developer-friendly functionalities.
Okay.
Obviously, this business services will act on data, right?
Mhm.
So here, on top of all these, we'll be having four different components in your ADF. One is BAM. BAM is nothing but your monitoring of the business activities. How, if you look at here, the picture, this will depict what exactly it is. It's like kind of business intelligence. It will
Mhm.
give you the summary of the data for CFOs, CIOs, how the sales are going on, how the productivity is going on, how the inventory is maintained. All this kind of stuff you can monitor here using this BAM component. This is for monitoring. And the other one is human workflow interface services. This is nothing but your business processes. Like for example, purchase orders, right? Sales order, purchase order.
Yeah.
Yeah, if someone raises purchase order, there will be limit to that purchase order amount. So not everyone can raise more than $1,000 purchase order.
Yeah.
When an employee raises purchase order of $1,000, more than $1,000, it will go for an approval for his supervisor.
Right.
So if it is more than that, it will go to the next level of it.
Yeah.
So that is the standard process given by Oracle. But your business operates in a different model, right? Not like it will go to the supervisor for approval or something like that. If you wanted to customize that, you can go for this human workflow service and then customize those services.
Mhm.
Okay, and the other thing is Beeple. Beeple is nothing but business process expression language. This is comes under SOA. If you wanted to build any kind of web service, any kind of integration, you can build easily with SOA. So within it, SOA components you can invoke ADF pages. So for
So
example,
Sova
you
is a
wanted to
middle layer, right? Sova is a
yeah,
middle.
SOA is also middleware. Yes, SOA is also middleware. But the difference between ADF and SOA is ADF you can build screens, custom screens. In
Mhm.
SOA you cannot build any screens. It's just a kind of integration that you can build.
Okay.
It cannot provide any UI. It just
UI.
provide the
Okay.
orchestration.
Mhm.
So for example, you wanted to load employee data into Oracle, right? That you're getting from PeopleSoft. Okay. So what you can build in SOA is that you can extract data from your PeopleSoft, right? You can write a program in PeopleSoft that will be invoked by SOA, so that data will be extracted from PeopleSoft, right? And then before you take it to Oracle, you might wanted to perform some validations and transformations within the data that you received from PeopleSoft. So you can do that validations and transformations, and then you can load the data into EBS or Oracle. This all kind of activities you can do it in using SOA.
So
And
when we see people soft, like I never understand. Like
okay,
so.
so I'll tell you this in okay. Before that, I'll go to something else. I'll explain you something else. So these days, how the business is running is projected with cloud fusion and all that. Yeah. So customers wanted to go with. I'm working on cloud projects, right? So how
Mhm.
this would be is, so let us suppose Dell is the client. Okay, they might be using different systems for handling their business. Different system, as in they might use Oracle. Okay, they might use SAP. They'll be using PeopleSoft. Okay, they might be using JD Edwards. They might be using Workday. I hope you know all these
Yeah, yeah,
systems.
Workday and yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So for example, Oracle is strong in their financials. Okay. SAP is strong in their supply chain. Strong as in more features actually. It will be
Yeah,
more
more
aligned to
people.
the business. PeopleSoft is like for HR.
Mhm.
Okay. JD is for their manufacturing. Okay. Workday is for their HR.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry. Workday,
Workday
PeopleSoft is
for.
their HR. Let us suppose their payments.
Mhm.
Um, what we call that actually? Salaries related stuff. What is that module? I forgot completely. Let us suppose this is for core HR, and they wanted to maintain their what we call oh my god, what is the module for salaries?
HRMS, sir? No,
HRMS is like core HRMS.
core HMS.
Um,
Okay.
okay, let it be performance management or something. Okay, so this is how they're managing right now. The system is now. This is EBS basically.
Yeah, first.
Okay,
So
I'm just
SCM is
taking a
also
simple
EBS,
example.
right? No? SCM,
Sorry,
SCM,
no,
supply chain is also EBS,
no,
right?
no, 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 no. Supply chain is the kind of a flow. They're using these systems to maintain that flow. For example, all financial transactions, as in GL, AP,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
AR,
AR, PO,
all
yeah.
these modules they're using Oracle EBS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, for OM, inventory, right? All these they're
That
using
is this
SAP.
SCM. No, how SAP? It is a part of EBS, right?
No, what I'm saying
OM.
is,
Uh-huh.
Prajakta, they're using OM on all those modules in SAP. Oracle is a provider. That's it. These are the modules common across financials modules, SCM modules, core HR, and all these are this can be implemented in different technologies. So I'll tell you in a simple example. This is kind of a for loop. Supply
Okay.
chain, Fin, GL, APR, these are all kind of a for loop. You can implement that for loop in C language, C++, Java, right?
Mm-hmm.
.NET. You can implement in any of this stuff. The same way, these are the modules or the functionalities. That's called supply chain module. These are the systems, different applications by different vendors.
Okay.
Okay. Did you get me?
Oh yeah, yeah, I
Or
got
there is
it.
a gap?
Like no, I got it. So
See, there are different modules in Oracle, right? But here Dell don't want to use complete Oracle for all their modules.
oh, okay,
They
okay,
want
okay.
to
So
use,
they are
okay.
going for supply chain. They are
Yes.
going for SAP. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Then just
For
take them.
financials modules, they implemented in EBS. For
EBS.
HR modules, they're using in PeopleSoft.
Yeah, yeah. All right, got it.
Okay. Okay. Now, actually, what are the transactions that happens in any of the systems that should be reported to Oracle Financials because GL is the final
Did it
destination,
finish? Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
every day data would be flow from there will be data flow from all the systems to EBS Oracle,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
Right? And for example, if you consider performance management, I wanted to evaluate an employee. So first to evaluate an employee, I should know that whether he is an employee of Dell or not. That will be stored in this PeopleSoft.
People.
So
Yeah.
always data should be communicated between PeopleSoft and Workday also,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
This is where we comes and then just build the integrations, data integrations.
Okay.
Yeah, right. In PeopleSoft, employee information might be stored in some way as in let us suppose you to create an employee here you need 20 fields, 20 mandatory fields. The same employee if you wanted to create or maintain the data about this employee in Workday, you might need 30 fields.
Mm-hmm.
That means whenever whatever the employee that is created in PeopleSoft, you wanted to transfer that information to your Workday system, you need to massage the data to get these 30 fields,
Right.
right? And then
Right.
you do that. That's called your transformation.
Mm-hmm.
So there should be some system set up because directly Workday or PeopleSoft cannot do this, right? There should
Mm-hmm.
be PeopleSoft is here, and Workday is here. There should be something in between, right? Which
Right.
will extract data from your
Translate.
PeopleSoft 20 field, perform some validations and transformations, and then load it into Workday.
Mm-hmm.
That's nothing but your middleware.
Okay.
Okay. In this
Mm-hmm.
middleware, you'll write an extraction program from here, and you'll perform validations and transformations, and then you will perform load activity in Workday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Yeah.
these particular thing is nothing but you can build it in SOA, you can build it in ADF, or you can build it in any other technology. This is nothing but your middleware and business orchestration or integration orchestration. This is called integration orchestration. You can build it in SOA, right? But before that, you wanted to see ADF screen. Actually, you wanted to build a screen in which you'll put a filter criteria. So I wanted to know who are all the employees that got employee data that got updated since 21st November 2018. You'll just provide a date and then just fetch data. You'll give a button. You click on a button so that it will display all the employees that got modified or that has to be transferred to PeopleSoft.
Mhm.
And then once you got here, you wanted to validate the data of these three records, whether these three records are manual intervention, right? And
Mhm.
then once it is validated, you click a button called validated.
Mhm.
Something I'm just taking
Yeah,
an
yeah, just
example of
example
explaining
technical,
you
and
the
then
use
it
case.
will,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
then
then
it
it will someone else will approve it. Someone else will approve it. Okay, this is good to load in. Good
birthday.
to load in your workday. Then someone will else will just upload it this data into workday.
Mhm.
So here, what happens is when you click on fetch, you already written a program in SOA to fetch the data. So these screens will be built on ADF.
ADF. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you
different
already
user
written a SOA
interface.
processes. Yeah, you
Mhm.
already written a SOA processes, and these SOA processes can be exposed as a web service.
Mhm.
Okay, so when you click on fetch, you'll invoke the web service that you written in SOA to fetch the data. And once you get the data, you'll display it, render it here on your ADF screen. You'll have a button here. Again, if when you click on upload, there'll be a web service built in SOA to upload the data. What are the data that you get? So you'll invoke the data in ADF screen. That's what this particular diagram is explains you.
Mhm.
Okay, and this is rules engine. Whenever you load the data, you wanted to perform some rules, custom rules. For example, employee number shouldn't be null, right? Salary should not be $1,000. Whatever the kind of rules, business rules that you wanted to build, those also you can build in rules engine.
Okay.
All this together called a middleware and ADF kind of architecture. Clear
Mhm.
each of these functionalities. I just wanted to give before ADF in components, right? I wanted to give you the bigger picture where exactly ADF sits or middleware sits in your current business or in current technologies trend.
Mhm.
Okay. Next comes your ADF MVC architecture. You already know all this MVC, right? So
Mhm.
here in view, there is no specific part as controller. Okay. So there is no specific or physical entity exists in ADF as a controller. So you can see here view has internally it will be using controller. We don't have any control over it. It's not like a physical file, Java file that you see in OAF. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So here you can build different pages, different Java phases, page fragments. There is one more concept called task flows. I'll explain you in detail when you go there.
Mhm.
Task flows. So that will control the flow between different pages in a system.
Okay.
So this is about view component. And in your model, you will be having bindings. I showed you data bindings, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So using bindings, will execute all the business logic that we write.
Mhm.
Okay, so there is business services also within your model. That's nothing but your you can write Java logic, ADF BC. That means business components, EVOs, VIVOs, and all that. And then web services. You can have BAM, BPL, BA, all these components in business services. You can use any of these in your ADF.
Mhm.
Okay. And the other one is data services. Data services is nothing but your database, or you can invoke any web service of other systems. For example, here you wanted to load data. When you wanted to get data from PeopleSoft, right? PeopleSoft would give you
Mhm.
some procedures or functions or something to extract data out of it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They provide the web service
So,
here. Mhm.
right. So, for example, in case of UBS, we'll be having APIs, PLSQL APIs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in cloud technologies or in Fusion or in Oracle latest technologies, right, you don't see any APIs. Everything is a web service or a REST API.
Okay.
RESTful services or web services.
Mhm.
It's the same PLSQL APIs, they're exposed that as a web service.
Okay.
Okay. And then you might connect to any legacy systems. Legacy systems as in um, Legacy systems, as in here, this will become legacy for Workday. So you can directly connect to any of these systems. For example, you can directly extract, there is a PLSQL procedure or a web service or a REST service available in PeopleSoft to extract employee information, right? Directly you can invoke that service, which will give you the employee information. You don't have to write any query or something. Directly that particular service itself will give you the employee data.
Okay.
You can connect to any of the services from your ADF BC. This is the typical architecture of ADF, and as we go on with the demos, right, we can see more in detail of each of these components, how the binding works, how the things work.
So we'll be working with here in business services. Like, there are multiple
Yeah,
options,
we'll
right?
work on this.
So we'll be taking
We'll work
example
on
of
you.
everyone.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
But actually, these are the things in detail. These are the individual components here with respect to ADF. How can you invoke all these? That's what we'll deal with. But actually, I'll try to explain as much as I can as part of these also. For example,
Yeah,
people
when
is
you
like
are taking any example that kind, so you just open this and you can explain me, okay, we are doing this and this is a part of this.
right,
So it will
right.
be easy to
Out of this,
understand, like how.
right, right.
Yeah.
Right. Out of all this, we'll be using definitely Java. I'll be explaining you ADF BC, web services, people, and BA. Not BAM actually. BAM we never used and did not work on it. And EJB also. It's like completely different story. Even people also, it's SOA. It's nothing but SOA. It's an altogether different course. But I'll try to explain you or show you as much as I can. Because I have
Mhm.
ready examples which I'm working on right now in my current project.
Sure. So
Okay.
did you take training of one of my colleague for SOA and no, right?
No,
It's
no,
someone
no, no.
else.
We didn't materialize that actually. For timings issue or something. Actually, I traveled US at the time, I guess.
So so it worked or not? Like you were
No.
SOA. He wanted to first go for ADF, but he said, "What will be used if I don't know SOA?" Then he wanted the SOA and ADF training. Something happened, and so you were
Uh,
the trainer or someone else?
This conference will now be recorded.
okay. So if you go to preferences, code editor, you can change the font and all that actually here. Same like your previous developer, code style, code insert. Everything you can change it however you want in preferences. Okay. Apart from all this, rest everything is same. Here, the one more feature that you'll get is team. So here, Git repository by any chance?
Yeah, I just know. Like I never worked on, but I
So
just
Tortoise SVN, or any of the
yeah,
teams. So what
version
happens is
control.
version controlling stuff. So whenever you develop anything, right, you wanted to keep it in a server copy. So directly you can connect to Git here, and then just
Mhm.
upload the contents to Git as soon as you made some changes.
Mhm.
Here there is one more service called Developer Cloud Service from Oracle, using which you can completely automate the flow. Like as soon as you develop something, a developer will push the code automatically. It will push the code to Git.
Okay.
And whenever you wanted to deploy the latest code every day, every weekend, every Friday, you wanted to deploy the latest code in your developer to your applications, right? Automatically, you can automate that also using separate plugins called and plugins, Maven plugins, and all that. And scripts basically. There is one more language called AND,
Mhm.
using which you
Yeah.
can automate all this. That's another
Okay.
thing. Okay. So as soon as you open developer for the first time, right? So
Mhm.
it will ask for you to download the preferences from previous version. Always select no. Okay.
So let me like. So are you going to show me everything that installing or what? So I
No,
can
no.
correct
See, it's like
what are the things I have to do.
no, 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 no. It's like that's what I'm telling, right? So it's not like um, it's like any other software installation. But the only thing is once you double click on it, right? You need to use 64-bit, right?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Mine is 64 bit.
Okay. If you say 64-bit, anyways, I'll send out an email, right? So this is the download link. I can do that. So once you double click on it, right,
Mhm.
it will ask for a middleware home where you wanted to create basically this developer. So
Mhm.
select some folder, give it name as Oracle middleware 12.13. I'll be having different versions of JDeveloper in my laptop right now. I'm using 12.13, 11.1.7, 12.2.12. This is for
so many. Okay.
yeah, earlier version of ADF. This is for current version, current for your training, and this is for my what we call, this is for my SOA. That is
So it,
12.2.
so it will be heavy, right?
Yeah, it will be very heavy. Actually, mine is 8 GB RAM. So at any point in time, I'll use only one developer. So that's good. Cool. Actually, I don't face any issues. Okay, create one folder like this. It will show, like, you can just click on browse wherever you wanted to create the folder. Just you can create this. Just create it as middleware 12.13. Just to clarity. Actually, if tomorrow if you install some other version, you don't have to worry.
Okay, so the middle one is mine, 12.13. Okay.
Middleware 12.13. Just click on next. It will take care of everything. Once it is completely installed, then it might, when it starts the JDeveloper, it will ask you whether you wanted to load the preferences from previous version. If any other JDeveloper is already installed in your laptop, it will ask that question.
Okay, so I have one already developed, already another developer. So I should select no.
Right.
Okay.
No,
Load the
you
preferences.
don't want any preferences. You don't want any preferences from previous versions. It's like altogether same. I mean, new one, brand new. That's it. This particular window will be opened. Okay. Once it is opened, what you can do is go to run. Here I have start service instance. Here, right? Start
Yes,
service
start
instance.
service.
For you, actually create service instance, server instance will come. Just click on create server instance.
Okay, instead of
Or
start,
else,
I will have create service instance. Okay.
create service instance. You wanted to try it. I'm just explaining you wanted to try it. Or else tomorrow what we will do is once you download the software, you can share your screen. We can set it up. That's also not an issue.
Yeah. If any
You got
problem,
it.
we can do that.
My suggestion is there is nothing much to do. Just you can try it on your own.
And also we have to do that bin location of the bin in the home, Java home.
Nothing new.
Is it?
You come out of ADF, OF.
So that's okay. Okay.
So set that up, right? It will ask you, a simple prompt will be coming. It will ask the username will be WebLogic all the time. Just give the password as WebLogic123. Confirm the password as WebLogic123. Okay, and it will show you some default ports 7101 and 7102. Default ports. Just keep it as it is. You need to enter password and confirm password. That's it. Click on OK. It will take 5-10 minutes, and then it will give you a message like run instance has started. It will give you some log here, something like this, waiting for server to complete its transaction. So a DOS window will also be coming. Right, it will do its own operations, and then just it will give integrated WebLogic server started. Okay, it will be like your any other WebLogic server. If client has any WebLogic server, the same thing you'll get it here. There are no any differences. Okay.
So once I install, I have to go to that run and create service instance.
Create
I have to click on
server
that.
instance. Create server instance, and then just click on it, and then it will prompt a small window. In that small window, you can enter the password. What are the password that you entered? Just try to remember that.
Yeah, sure.
So it will take some time. That's why I don't want to waste our time on call. But if you find any difficulty, if you find anything different, then just don't try it out. Immediately close it. See, integrated WebLogic server has started. Okay. At the time of OAF, we did not do any settings in our server. Just everything you want to do in your local JDeveloper and local system. That's it. Right? So here, but in ADF, there will be console, WebLogic server console coming with your WebLogic server. So if you look at here, once it's successfully shown as integrated logic server, WebLogic server has started, then you can go to this URL, localhost 7101 is the port, and give the console as application name. So once you give that in your browser, WebLogic, what are the password that you given? WebLogic 123 I have given. So I've given password. This is nothing but your WebLogic server console, wherein you'll do all the configurations of your server. Everything.
Okay. So, I don't understand how this things, but so I'm installing all those things, everything on my local machine, and I, am I touching it to my database? Something, nothing connected, right?
No, nothing connected right now. You did not give any database connections as of now.
Okay. So,
Right.
yeah.
So you did not connect to any database. But what I'm saying is, you can create your own database in your laptop, local PC. I have installed Oracle database in my local system. I'm not connecting to any server.
Okay, so I'll not be connecting to any like office database, anything, or
No, you don't have
everything
to. You
I'll be
don't have to.
using. We don't have to,
Uh,
right? Yeah, that's what I'm
yeah,
asking
you
because
don't.
I don't want to touch
No,
anything.
that's what. So that's the beauty of this WebLogic server and then database that we are using. It's
Mhm.
like same features. You don't feel any difference. For example, your client says that you have a WebLogic server. You have a WebLogic server, right? If your client says if you have to work on some WebLogic server, what are the applications that you develop in your developer, you might have to deploy those applications in your client WebLogic server. The same client WebLogic server also will be having their own console. So when you open that console, it will be the same. There's no any difference. You got me? This is a kind of configuration page for your server.
Okay.
In your JDeveloper, you already set up one server, right? Integrated WebLogic server.
Yeah.
So this is the configuration page for your server.
Okay.
Okay. Let us
This is just
suppose I
local.
made
Yeah.
here that
Yeah.
this is local. Let us suppose this scenario. So let us suppose you don't have any WebLogic server installed in your JDeveloper. You don't want to do that in your PC.
Mhm.
Okay. You wanted to use my WebLogic server, whatever I have set up in my JDeveloper, my local PC.
Mhm.
So how you connect to my
So,
server?
so I will have to take that link and use your credentials, maybe. No.
Yes. You need to take my IP address, and we
Yeah.
both should be on the first of all, we both should be on the same network.
Mhm.
And then I'll give you the IP address. Instead of localhost, you'll put it as IP address :710/console.
Mhm.
That's how you'll connect to my server. The same is the case with
Okay.
any other client in on-premise WebLogic servers. Okay,
Okay.
so this is about it. There are different options available here that uh, I mean we can discuss based on our use cases, like whenever we want anything. So if you click on environment servers, it will show you the servers that are running on this WebLogic server. For example, here we have only one server. So what the clients might do is they might use multiple servers to run their WebLogic server. Multiple servers as in multiple different machines altogether for better computing speeds, memory, and all that. Okay. For example, you have two different servers. You might have two different servers on which your WebLogic server is running, and what are the requests that you have? Requests as in whenever you run a page in ADF,
Mhm.
right? It
Mhm.
might go to any one of the servers. We don't feel any difference physically when you open the
Okay.
page, but internally the server manages between these two servers. The load will be maintained between these two servers.
So this kind of activity is done by DBAs, right? Like
Yes.
I never have
It will
access. I don't know anything background behind this, right? So this
Yes,
will
yes,
be
you
a
don't have to
DBA's
worry about it.
task.
I'm just giving you the example. I mean, I'm telling you the
Yeah, yeah. So
scenario.
this is DBA's task, right?
Yeah, DBS task, but actually what happened is with respect to cloud, so this line has become very thin between the developers, admins, DBS and all that. The line has become very thin.
Okay.
So in my current project, I'm managing all these over servers. I don't know anything about
Oh,
DBA activities and all that, but still I learned all those and I'm managing the servers. I'm doing the patching. I mean, in cloud actually there is nothing much that we can do, but still yes, I'm doing everything. We have a clustered environment of two servers in SOA. So the load will be balanced between these two servers. One is
mhm.
called admin server and the other one is called managed server.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's what it is. But you don't have to worry about all those. This is the typically DBS activities. But I'm just letting you know.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can down, yeah, you can just down one server and then you can do. You can up the other server. So here you can do that. For example, you have multiple servers, right? You can shut
Mhm.
down one of the servers, force shutdown, and then you can start the other server, something like that. You can do all those activities here.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So if you have a
currently with
cluster and
this, so currently, like how many servers I will have? I'll just have one server,
no,
right?
different. You will have one server because we are using default integrated WebLogic server, right? So we'll be
Yeah.
having one server.
Okay. So you might be having another servers on that the first folder, that first middleware folder.
Exactly. In servers.
Mhm.
Under servers, I'll be having multiple servers here. When you go to control, you can control you can shut down, you can start, you can suspend all the servers.
Mhm.
So when it is multiple servers, right, you will prepare automatically a cluster also will be created for that. Cluster as in it's a grouping of servers basically.
Okay.
So this is also out of it, and then we'll see all this later. And now I'm going to deployments. Deployments as in maximize. So these are the different applications already deployed into server. Whenever we create WebLogic server, right? When you
Mhm.
create WebLogic server, it will deploy by default these applications. These are the supporting libraries, I can say, for your ADF projects or applications that you create, basically.
Mhm.
Okay, these are the default applications that you'll get with WebLogic server itself, and you can see the status of all these. Whenever you wanted to stop the services, you can stop it. For example, you deployed a project, deployed an application, it will appear here. You got
Mhm.
it? What I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So here you don't have to migrate the files, move the files physically and all that. Come out of OAF. Directly, let us suppose you download a page and you wanted to run
Mhm.
it in your WebLogic server. So you need to deploy that into this WebLogic server. So in OAF, what we need to do, we will physically transfer the files and then just import the
Files.
pages, like, compile
Yeah.
the classes, and then
Yeah.
create menu and all that. Here you don't have to
Right.
do anything, right? So just deploy that's called deployment. Just deploy the
Okay.
application into a WebLogic server and it will appear here. And you can run the page directly, right? After some
Yeah.
time, you don't want to use that application anymore. You can just select that and delete it. Or else, for time being, you don't want it, just select that application and then stop it. You
Oh.
can manage the
Okay.
life cycle of your application here.
Okay. So in which case we'll stop, right? Every time whatever we deploy, we need it continuously, right? So why do we need to
Sorry?
stop it? Whatever we deploy.
I'll tell you a scenario. Like actually, we have a service called notification service that will send out email notifications. That's a common service that we built. For example, I have 6 interfaces. 6 interfaces. All the 6 interfaces will use the same notification service. So
Mhm.
what happens is whenever I load the data into Oracle Cloud from different systems, uh, with the data status, how many number of records that I received, how many number of records processed, what are all errored, what are the error details. This kind of notification I'll send out to the stakeholders at the end of the interface execution. So
Mhm.
for that purpose, I'm using one notification service. Here, what happened is last week, that notification has service sent 6,000 email notifications.
Oh goodness.
Yes. So in that case, what I want to do is I don't want to undeploy. I don't want to delete the applications in my system. I just immediately stopped all my
But yes.
applications in the
Yeah.
server until I found the root cause, until I found the
Mhm.
fix for that.
Okay.
Here, actually, this is your integrated WebLogic server. You can do whatever you want, but it's not it's not possible with the client machines, right? In production, that too. So
Mhm.
in those scenarios, we might shut it down.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Just one thing. So when in OF we have to do the file migration manually, then give the steps to DB, sysadmin DB. So they will do that. All those things migration. So here you are saying we have to deploy it here. So it will be deployed in just our dev, environment, right? How about migration to the test and prod? How it will work?
Yeah, that's what, right? Everything. Okay, let me show you something. Further, I might have to.
Your real time work, like how it works.
This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So here, whenever you wanted to connect to any database from your WebLogic server, it could be your client database or it could be your local database or whatever. So you need to create a data source. So once you install your WebLogic server and your database tomorrow, I'll take you through these steps, creating of data source. Okay.
Mhm.
So what exactly data sources? I'll explain then.
Okay.
Here we'll give the database connections, connection details of your database name, IP address, port, username, password, and all these details we'll give as a connection here, and we'll use this connection in your application
Okay.
so that automatically your applications will be able to communicate with your database.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what it is.
The newly installed database. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll share the link actually, which database you have to install. And these are the diagnostics. If you wanted to extract any log files, whenever there's an issue, you can extract all those and then give it to Oracle. I never used this interoperability. That's not of that use. Mostly we'll be working on these deployments and these services like messaging services or data services. That's it.
So that's under environment, right? Okay.
On the services, environment, not environment, services. Yeah, this messaging is something like okay. So you'll be having messaging services for messages producing or consuming the messages. I'm sorry for the background noise.
No worries.
Yeah. So here, what I can show you today. That's it, right, for data source. I can't explain you much unless I configure something for you. Okay. So this is JDeveloper, right? That's it. Yeah, that's it, Prajakta, for today. I have. So once you install JDeveloper, from tomorrow onwards, we can directly start developing the applications. Once you configure that.
Sure.
Okay,
So
directly we'll jump to concepts. ADF, BC, GOs, EVOs, and all that from tomorrow onwards with our regular flow.
Sure. So I wanted to tell you, like,
you want me to stop?
Oh yeah, you can stop.
Okay.